Good afternoon, San Diego. Meteorologist Shawn Styles here on CBS 8 Plus with a look at your weather. Well, it looks like yesterday's rain is the last of it, at least for now. Let's take a look at the rain that came down in the past 24 hours. And it's not a dramatic amount, but it certainly keeps adding to that total. So basically a quarter of an inch, give or take, in most locations. Although Lake Cuyamaca and Julian over a half an inch. Oceanside, really weird. The front came down and it kind of hugged this little northwestern nook of the county. So Oceanside, Vista, Fallbrook, Carlsbad, a half to almost an inch of rain. So pretty cool. We keep adding to the totals. Now, here's what's happening in the atmosphere. We've got this low that moved through, and high pressure is bulging in. We've been talking about this high pressure coming in over the eastern Pacific, and it is built in really quick. So we've got a high wind watch for the East County, the mountains, downsloping winds out of the east-northeast. So these winds will get going pretty good. And this is going to last until Tuesday at 1 p.m. So some pretty strong winds working their way in. Currently, we're not going to see much of anything. Tonight, you'll notice the offshore flow get going. But then as things start to progress and the high pressure starts to squeeze the atmosphere, we'll see some winds really kick up over the mountain passes and push down towards the coastline. So this offshore flow will continue. It will also bring a drier atmosphere, and that will make for some cooler conditions overnight. You see those winds, they just keep howling out of the northeast and east, and they'll be very strong. Thankfully, we've had plenty of rain in the past 4 or 5 days, and so any of that vegetation that's out there is well saturated, so it'd be extremely hard for a fire to get going. However, there's plenty of dead vegetation out there, and a fire could be started accidentally from maybe a car driving by and something come out the tailpipe. So if you see something, report it. Look at these winds, though. They get widespread and almost all the way out to the coastline. This is called the Rainbow Valley here, from Ramona out in towards north of Julian, and it blows all the way out through towards Del Mar. So they get some pretty gusty winds out there, and you can see this whole trail works its way out to the coastline, and those winds really kick up on Monday. As far as what we can expect temperature-wise, we'll notice and see those temperatures start to shift just a little bit. As we look at the inland areas, this is where we're going to see some much, much warmer temperatures. It'll be into the mid to upper 70s by the time we get to Tuesday. You'll be touching the low 80s possibly. Current temperatures, just what you would expect for this time of year. We're almost here at 4:30, 5 o'clock. It'll be cooling down even more. So upper 50s to low 60s everywhere. And by the time we go overnight, it'll get chilly out there because, like I said, that drier atmosphere, the clear skies, the heat will radiate out and will drop into the low 40s throughout much of the inland microclimates. We'll even get into the 40s in the Del Mar area. 50s in places like Encinitas, but it's going to be a chilly night out there because of those clear skies. Daytime highs will rebound and will be into the low 70s, so looking pretty good for your daytime highs. Plenty of sunshine out there. Here's a gorgeous view from Mount Soledad towards downtown San Diego. What you can start to see is all the green popping up on Fiesta Island here and around Mission Bay. And then as we look off in the distance, this is Tijuana, so you can see the skies are really cleared, and obviously that's downtown San Diego. We're at 61 degrees and winds are west at 5. They're going to switch and go offshore. And keep in mind, those winds are at the surface, not aloft. So the high pressure is starting to squeeze, and we'll see that offshore flow. We continue to see big waves, but not as big as it was today. Tomorrow will drop off to about 4 to 5 feet. The rip current risk will stay high. High tide at 357, a 3.0. So not a big swing in the tides. 21 in Mammoth, and man, did they get pounded. Over 70 inches of snow, and they've had the mountain closed for 2 days now doing avalanche control. So lots of snow in the Sierra Nevada, mid 50s until you get to Santa Barbara. Downtown Los Angeles at 59, it's 68 in Phoenix and 57 in Las Vegas. All right, we've got a chance of rain coming back into the forecast, and once you know it, it'll be just as we move into the new year. It looks like another area of low pressure digging south, and that's all associated with the jet stream. Right now, high pressure building in over the region, and that's why we're seeing the clearing skies. There's our exiting low. Watch this high pressure wedge in, and this is what's going to give us that offshore flow. The Clockwise circulation around the high pushes the offshore flow. Then we get a series of low pressures digging in over the west, and these bring another chance of rain. And it looks like this could bring another substantial amount of rain to Southern California as we get into the new year. Sunday looking good, Monday not so bad. Look at these temperatures ramping up into the mid 70s, upper 70s along the inland microclimates, and then that rain comes back in, and it kind of lingers a little bit longer than this last storm. This last storm, we had kind of a break in the action. This one looks like it's going to stick around for a while, and we're going to watch these temperatures in the mountains. If we get some cold air filtering in, we might finally see some snow in our local areas, but certainly more snow for the Sierra Nevada and probably in the Big Bear Lake area. That's a look at your weather.